All right, so first things first, in the morning, you don't want to start your day off in a reactionary state. To set up your day for success, this is extremely important because whenever we get in a reactionary state, we're reacting to everything else around us. We are allowing things to control us, and we're allowing our brainwave state to get into a mode that is taking us somewhere versus us dictating our day and controlling our day. So you hear this a lot, but I'm going to explain a more specific, detailed way that I do it that has been super helpful for me and what I like to do and what has helped me to have the most success and set up my day properly is I I like red light therapy, and I combine that with my meditation. So it doesn't take very long to set your mind up in the right way, and you want to start with the gratitude practice in the morning because that will help you to keep that positive affirmation going for the rest of the day and to wire your brain to focus more on the positive aspects of what you do have and the gratitude that you have for life versus the negative pessimistic state. So whenever we first wake up, our brains are in a frequency state of being programmed. We are most programmable in the morning. And I know you've heard this. So the one thing I like to do is set that intention of being focused on what is good in my life, what is going well. So take about 10 minutes, um, and the red light therapy will also help because red light therapy helps to set your circadian motion or circadian rhythm into motion. And so I combine. I like to do. I like to multitask with my life hacks. It just makes sense if you're going to sit there and meditate, that you might as well do red light therapy. Or if you're going to sit there and do red light therapy, you might as well meditate at the same time. So I do this for about 10 minutes, 9 minutes to be more specifically. Nikola Tesla, he did everything in nines. He found that the number nine actually possessed um, literal power because of its ability to multiply in a specific way. So I like to do everything in nines, like Nikola Tesla did. Um, the other thing in the morning, the next thing I like to do is I go outside and get sun. Now, the best way to do this is fully nude. You want to get your balls, you want to get your butt, your asshole, everything in the sunlight. That's how we are biologically designed. We have photon receptors all over our entire body. If that's the case, then why should we limit the exposure of the sun to specific areas of our body? All of these receptors are going to benefit. And if you think about it, vitamin D is produced in the testicles, or testosterone rather. Testosterone is produced in the testicles. If vitamin D is required to produce testosterone, then if you theoretically, if you get sun on your balls, then you're going to get a boost in testosterone greater than if you weren't getting sun on your balls. Um, so that's one thing I like to do. I like to get out, get some sunshine first thing in the morning. It's not harsh sun either, so your body can handle it a little easier. You want to build up to this. You want to start out slow, do about 5 minutes. If your balls have never got sun before, then start out really slow. Start out with maybe 5-10 minutes and build up from there. I only do 10 minutes, and I've been doing it for a while. Maybe 20 minutes sometimes. I'll go 20 minutes. Usually I'll do 10 minutes or 9 minutes on each side. And I will combine that with visualization. So, again, just like with the red light therapy, I like to combine these things. And so, what I'll do is, as my second part of meditation, I'll do a visualization exercise. And the way that this works is you want to visualize yourself in the situations doing the things that you want to do, the things that you want to be successful in, where you want to be in life, the things that you want to have. You want to visualize these things in your mind. Now, when you do this, it's really important to think about not it's really important not to just think about these things, but to feel them. So feel the emotions. Feel what it will feel like whenever you get the thing that you want. Whenever you get the house of your dreams, whenever you get the car of your dreams, whenever you're doing the thing that you want to do, whenever you're, in the job that you have. Think about how you'll feel, what you'll be doing, specific aspects. You only need to think about one thing. Really, just focus on one thing that will give you that emotional response. So you might think about, a job promotion. Um, you should probably have an aspiration to have your own job, but regardless, or own your own business. But if you're working for somebody and if you think about that, then what you'll think about is what he might say to you. Him coming up to you and saying, "Hey, I want to let you know that," your boss comes up and he says, "I want to let you know that I want to hire you for the position of executive producer," or whatever it may be. And then think about the way that that'll make you feel. Just think about anything that will help you to elicit an emotional response. The next thing I want to talk about that I like to do in the morning as well is start out the day with some bone broth. Bone broth is the number one superfood. It is the most nutrient dense thing you can put in your body. Bone broth contains all the amino acids that your body needs to build muscle, repair tendon, heal the gut. Bone broth is literally the best building blocks for your body, period. There's nothing else that's going to be as good as bone broth in terms of what you can put in your body. So I like to make bone broth with just organic grass-fed beef bones. I simmer them in a pressure cooker. I just have a pressure cooker. It makes it easy to just put that on slow cook, or you can use a crock pot if that's what you have, or you can put it on the stove top. You just want enough water to cover the bones, and you want to simmer it for at least 2 days. What I like to do is I'll simmer it for 2 days, I'll have some, and then I will simmer it again. I'll just keep it simmering for like 5 days. I'll have it for like 3 days. After the second day, I'll start drinking it. And you want to talk about healing your gut and feeling better. That there's nothing that I've done that will heal the body like bone broth does. Now, what I will say as well is combining this with peptides. Peptides are, if you haven't heard of peptides, they are amino acids. They're small chains of amino acids, less than 50 in length. And these peptides are able to signal a biological response for our body to heal itself. And peptides are already naturally found in the body. However, over time, they degrade. Your body quits producing as much. And even as a young person, your body's not going to have the perfect level of peptides because of environmental, biological, just different factors in our lives, just from living in the current society and the current times that we live in. Even whenever you're born as a baby, you're not perfect biologically. Therefore, these peptides will help your body to optimally perform, optimally heal, and do what it's supposed to do better on its own. Peptides aren't introducing anything externally that you don't already have, so they're not like steroids or anything like that, but they can naturally enhance your physique. They can, they can heal tendons. The most popular peptide is BPC 157. Well, it was until Ozempic and those things started coming out. Now, Ozempic and these other pharmaceutically produced peptides are mixed with other compounds that can have negative interactions on the body. So if you take, for example, the peptides that they use to make Ozempic with, they're very safe and very effective at helping to lose weight. However, the way that they combine them and the way that they use them, it can have some negative effects. What I will say is, if you are trying to lose weight and you're looking into Ozempic, I would look into semaglutide or tirzepatide, those other fat-burning peptides that are just by themselves, instead of getting the name brands that are combined with other things that can have negative interactions. And even Ozempic and these weight loss drugs can have a positive effect if used for short term, and if you continue on that path of being healthy. The problem is, a lot of people get reliant on these things, and they don't think that they have to put in the other hard work. So just having a healthy lifestyle and using these things can be beneficial and can be helpful. Now, going a little bit more into peptides, this is something that's really exciting to me. I'm actually taking I'm taking 9 intentionally, but I didn't realize that was the number. It's just interesting how this synchronicity stuff starts to line up once you start to do things. in a certain way, things start to line up. Call it coincidence, whatever. But so I'm taking 9 different peptides right now, and one of the peptides that I'm taking is called BPC 157, and it's generally combined with another one called TB 500. These peptides help to improve nerve growth factor. What that does is it helps growth hormone to be localized to the different areas in your body that need healing. So it increases that nerve growth factor, and those receptors are able to receive more growth hormone from the body, which heals the tissue. A lot of people take BPC 157 and end up not even needing surgery because of how good these peptides can heal. And BPC 157 is a natural occurring peptide. I think it's 15 amino acids long, and it's found in the digestive system. It's found in the gastric juice of the stomach. But there are various other peptides. And the reason I bring this up in conjunction with the bone broth is because when your body has the building blocks, the materials to heal, and then you combine peptides, the level of healing that you will receive is as good as it can get. So you are literally providing the foundation, and then you're providing the workers plus the raw materials to build a sound house, or whatever you want to call it, a sound body, you know. So that is one of the other things. The next thing I want to talk about is reframing and breathing in times of stress. This is a big one. This is something that will change everybody's life, that will improve anybody's daily life. Like when you're driving and you're in traffic, or you're in a big crowd, like I'm driving right now, but I'm not really in traffic. It's inevitable that somebody is going to do something that's going to annoy me, even if it's not super extreme. There's always something that's going to happen in life that somebody's going to get in your way, going to cut you off, going to do something stupid, and you've got to reframe that situation. So this is kind of a 2-step process, or really a 3-step process, because the first thing you need to do is realize that your body or your mind can't be fixed by your mind. So you can't think your way out of a situation right away. You have to first have an effect on the nervous system. And the way that we do that is through breathing. It's through a physical exercise. This is very easy to do. One specific breathing exercise that's really good, that works really quickly, is just a double inhale and an exhale. It's called a psychological sigh. If you know who Andrew Huberman is, Dr. Huberman talks about this. And what you do is you take a deep breath in your nose, followed by another small breath to get as much as you can. So two breaths, a deep breath and a quick breath. So a deep breath, then a quick breath, and then a long exhale. So it looks like this. And just doing that, like right now, I can feel, you might even hear the shift in my voice. I can feel my body relaxing, and I can now think clearer. I can focus more on what I'm saying. Now, when you're in traffic and you do this, what's going to happen is it's going to allow your body to shift from a sympathetic uh, situation to where from fight or flight. Sympathetic is the fight or flight system. It's where our body is in a mode of, I need to attack, I need to run, um, I need to do something. I'm very tense, you know, and that can be helpful if you're trying to run away from a predator, or kill an animal, or uh, fight your way out of a situation. But if you're trying to be more in control of your mind and in control of the situation, then you want to take that deep breath, and you want to do that a few times. Once you do that, even once, but a few times is better, you can now reframe, and you'll get better at this. You'll start getting better at this the more you do it, the faster you'll get into it. I naturally started doing it after doing it for several months. I started to just naturally do this. When I'm in traffic now, it's like a natural response. And so whenever you do this, though, you want to start to get into a place where you can think about the situation differently. So say somebody cuts you off. You do the breathing exercise, and then you you think about, one, the person that's in the vehicle. Reframe it and think, well, this person could be having a bad day. They could be in a situation where somebody in their life passed away. They could be in a situation where um, they are just mentally unaware. And more than likely, that's the case. More than likely, this person is just wrapped up in society and allowing life to get too overwhelming for them. They're maybe on social media too much. They're doing things that are allowing them to get into a state of reactionary mode. Like I talked about earlier in the video, we want to put ourselves in a proactive state versus a reactionary state, so that we can be more productive in our day and be the action takers and the person who is in control of their, not only just their actions, but their mindset. And so think about that person and just think, well, this person is just a person that is lost. You know, you can think about it however you want. You can think that could be an old lady in that car. A lot of times it is. You know, just think and realize that's somebody that's not me, and they don't think the way that I do. And that's okay. And I forgive them, and I'm sure, and then start to think about, well, there's something good about that person. You can find something good about everybody. I don't know, there's literally nobody that I've met, and you can tell me if you've had a different experience, but there's nobody that I've met that I could find something about them that is good or endearing. And it could be very hard, and you might not see it. You might not see it at first. You might not see it for days. You might have to take a long time to get to know that person. But the point is, you can see the good in people. And so just start to think about, well, that person, I probably have something in common with them. You know, So just reframe it. However it is you want to reframe it, reframe the situation once you do the deep breathing. And then as you do this, each time you do this, you're reprogramming your subconscious mind to have a different perception on people and situations in life. And it's going to have a trickle down effect, and it's going to impact your life in a way bigger way than you would ever imagine. Just that simple exercise. So let's see, what's the next thing? Not taking yourself or others too seriously and laughing a lot. This is important. Laughing releases brain chemicals that induce healing, that make us live longer. So, doing this regularly, every situation that you're in, whether you're at the grocery store or whether you're ordering food or whether you're like even in a serious situation, even at a job, not taking things too seriously. Now, obviously, you don't want to just be joking around whenever it's a time to be productive. Um, However, if something comes up that's potentially funny, then allowing yourself to sink into that and allowing yourself to capitalize on that moment to make everybody laugh, to make yourself laugh, not take yourself too seriously. If something you do is goofy or wrong, laugh at yourself and do it in front of others. Get in the habit of being okay with not appearing to be perfect, because what that's going to do is it's going to allow you to get more comfortable with who you are and not care about what other people think. That is one of the most revelational things you can do for yourself and in your life to be more productive, to be more successful. Whenever you start to care less about what everybody else thinks and more about what you think and what you believe, not only are you going to live a more fulfilling and happier life, then you're going to be able to create more. You're going to be able to do more. You're going to be able to make more friends. People are going to be more attracted to you. The more you care about what other people think, the less they like you, because the more that they realize that your happiness, your fulfillment, your goal in life is to somehow get some fulfillment from their liking of you, which is a false. It's artificial. It's not. It has no. It means nothing, because what that person thinks of you is just that. It's not even real. It's not even an actual thing. Like, I mean, it could be on a surface level, but deep down, it could be something completely different. You know, because even if you do something or say something that's maybe stupid, or maybe you don't even agree with it, that's the thing. It's like you might say or do something that you personally don't even agree or think necessarily, and then somebody judges you based only on that. Whenever you think about it 2 minutes later and you're like, well, actually, I kind of realized what I said wasn't even really how I feel. So it's like, it doesn't matter what people think about you. It doesn't matter how people perceive you. And that's extremely important. So that that exercise of not taking things too seriously, it helps with that. It just helps you to just be goofy, laugh at yourself, laugh at others, and it helps you to create connections. people will remember you. People will remember you whenever you're not the same old person that just says, "Hello, how are you? I'm fine. How are you? Oh, I'm doing fine." If you go and you say, uh, just something crazy, it's like somebody says hi to you. "Hi, how are you?" Then you say, "I'm high. How are you? I'm high on life," you know? And then they might laugh. It's just say something out of the ordinary if you feel it, if it's something that comes natural to you. Don't force it. Just the funny things will happen naturally, and embrace that, and don't take things too seriously. Don't take yourself so seriously. You know, don't think that another reason why this is so important is because, like, we're not our thoughts. Like, we're not even our thoughts. We have different thoughts all the time, and we change our thoughts, and we change our mindset. If we're a progressive person that wants to improve, anyways, like, you're not gonna be somebody who's just um, always thinking the same thing, unless you're somebody who is ideologically, um, you know, uh, like, stuck in your ways. So, if you have confirmation bias all the time and you're a political person who has one belief, and you think, well, this is the person that I believed in and the political party that I established myself with, so no matter what happens, I'm going to stick to that, even if they, you know, falter or change their ways. Like, I'm still going to stick to that because, that's a horrible place to be, where you're just like, you're continually affirming the belief that you've always had because you see that other people are um, going to judge you for that. So you're like, well, I I stood on this mountain before. I guess I better keep standing on this mountain, um, even if things change. I'm going to stand on this mountain because I don't want other people to see me change. It's like, again, it's not caring what other people think about if you change or not. It's knowing that you're on the path to being the best self that you can be. And so that's one thing I like to do, not just for the exercise of um, being a person who is optimistic and who is continually improving, um, but it's just a good way of being, like, having fun and just enjoying life, and being funny and allowing other people to be funny and just laughing. So that's an important one. All right, going back into more productive things, um, not necessarily more productive, but more more physical, let's just say, actionable things, is exercising for 10 minutes in the morning every day. So you can improve your body drastically with a little bit. It doesn't need to be a lot. And even somebody who's well trained like me, I started realizing that the 3 to 5 day split is just too much if you're exercising to a high intensity. And so what I like to do now is I keep that 3 to 5 day workout where I go to the gym on a regular basis, and have those harder workouts, but having a foundation where you do something every day, because I was like, well, I'm not working out every day, but the body adapts. The body will adapt, but also your cardiovascular system will improve a lot if you work out a little bit every day. So the benefits are unbelievable as far as on your joints, on your cardiovascular system, on your mind, on setting up your day right. So this is another thing that I do in the morning after I do all my meditation. I have a little station where I can do dips and pull-ups, and I can do like leg raises. And what I do is I do literally 1 to 2 sets of each exercise, and that is it. And it makes it really easy to do. It makes it easy to motivate yourself to do and accomplish. It starts out your day with an accomplishment. So anytime you can make a win or have a win in your life, and you can accomplish something and you can start your day off that way, not only are you boosting testosterone, you're boosting willpower to continue to do more hard things, but you're also, you're building that tenacity to be able to do that thing that you set off to do every day. So have that win first thing in the day, and do a little bit of exercise. If you don't have any equipment, you can just do some basic things. For me, as an advanced lifter, I like to do pull-ups. I'll do just like 9 pull-ups, and then I go and I do like 2 sets of leg raises, um, and then I do like some dips, and then some push-ups, and then I'll do like some shoulder raises with dumbbells, and then I'll do some legs. So I literally cover every single thing. And when I do legs, I'll do some pistol squats on each leg, and then I'll do some sissy squats and some regular squats. So I hit everything, and it only takes me 9 minutes to do it. I do 9 reps of each exercise, and once I started doing this after a while, I realized that when I would go in and do my regular workouts in the gym, I was a lot stronger. So just having that daily thing, it 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 doesn't make you sore. It's just a little bit, enough to stimulate the muscles and enough to stimulate the joints and to activate the cardiovascular system. And what you want to do with this really optimally is you want to go right into each exercise. So you want to go straight from one thing into the next thing, because it's going to keep that elevated heart rate. So you're going to get like a high intensity interval training while you're doing this. So you're going to basically, what you want to do ultimately is you want to do the hard exercise and then kind of go to an easier exercise immediately, so that you're kind of having a high cardiovascular stimulation and then a little bit lower. So I'll do pull-ups, and then I'll do leg raises, because those are pretty easy and they don't put a lot of load on the cardiovascular system. But I'm still going from one thing to the next, but I'm allowing their heart rate to drop a little bit back down before I go and I do like some dips, and then I'll do some kettlebell. Well, it's like having dumbbells really, but it's just doing some delt raises, some side delt raises, which are an easier exercise. Then going into the pistol squats, which is a harder exercise. So going from a harder to an easier exercise, varying that and do that for 10 minutes. You can do this if you don't have any equipment. What I would say you should do is just do some squats and go straight from squats to like some arm circles, where you're doing some arm circles or some jumping jacks, and then go into some push-ups, and then go into some lying leg raises, and you just alter those, and you do like 2 sets of each. So do that in the morning, and you will not only see a huge improvement. If you do this every day and you don't even exercise otherwise, this will build up the foundation where you'll see such an improvement. You wouldn't really even need to do anything else. If you did this 10 minutes and you maybe even started improving it to like 15 minutes a day, you would be working out for 70 minutes a week. adds up. That's a lot. And you don't really get sore from this. Maybe at first, if you've never trained before, you'll get sore. But this is an excellent way to improve your health and get your mind in the right spot. So that is what I like to do. That's a training method that I don't hear anybody talking about that is extremely effective. All right, now I'm going to go through the other ones real quick. The next thing is sauna. Sauna plus sage and eucalyptus in the evening. No phone and resistance neck training. So this is my sauna routine, and I like to do this in the evening because in the evening, whenever you use the sauna in the evening, what happens is you're creating a hermetic response for the body to have to cool down after you get out. So as soon as you get out of that sauna, your body has a natural physiological response to start cooling down. And the beauty of this is, in order to get into deep sleep at night, your body needs to be able to regulate its temperature and cool down. So your body slips into deep sleep and even deeper sleep whenever your body is cooled down. And deep sleep is where all the luteinizing hormones happen, where your body is healing. And so whenever you can improve deep sleep, anything you can do to improve deep sleep is going to drastically improve the way that you feel, the way that you perform. So sauna in the evening, and I don't mean like literally right before you go to bed. I mean like a couple hours before you want to do the sauna, and I finish with a cool shower, um, and I feel amazing. I feel great. I can slip into that deep sleep. Now, I mentioned the eucalyptus and the sage. If you have a sauna where you can use sage at home, that's great. Burn a little bit of sage while you're in there, because sage has a lot of positive effects. Um, and it also, one thing it does is it cleans the air. So it kills mold and bacteria in the air, and it um, is proven to be effective at this. Sage is something that people have used traditionally for a long time, and people used it to ward off, or they continue to use it, I suppose, to ward off negative spirits. Now, with science, we know for a fact that it actually has positive effects because of its ability to kill mold and its ability to kill bacteria and airborne illness. Um, and the smell of it is just great. I love sage. Use it all the time. I used to clean the air in my house every once in a while. And eucalyptus, I use that in the sauna as well. I take a little bit of eucalyptus, and you want to mix it with either a carrot oil, or I like to use aloe vera because it's not an oil. Um, I like to use that. I mix a little bit of sage or a little bit of eucalyptus with um, my aloe vera, and I put it on my chest, and then I get it in my hands. I rub my hands together, and I just breathe like that, and it helps to detoxify the lungs. As soon as I get into the sauna, it's really good because that heat helps to kind of activate it, um, and it's a nice experience. So I will do that, and then I'll also, when I'm in the sauna, because again, it's like you combine these things because you want to multitask. We only have so much time in a day, but also there are times when you're not really doing anything. You're just sitting there in the sauna. Same with like kind of red light therapy. You're just standing there. You might as well meditate. Like you're outside getting some sun. You might as well meditate, visualize, do some visualizing practice. This is kind of the same concept where like you're in the sauna and you can do other things. Now, I see sometimes people working out in the sauna, which is a bad idea. I think you don't want to. I mean, I guess it could be okay for a little bit, but really, like, you're not. First of all, other people are trying to enjoy the relaxing time in the sauna. So, like, doing something that's like kind of abrupt and kind of extreme like that, I don't think it's really good etiquette in the sauna if other people are in the sauna. Plus, it's so hot in the sauna that I don't think that you're really going to. I think that you could actually overdo it as far as like your cardiovascular system. Like if you're really working out in the sauna and it's like 200 degrees, 185 degrees, whatever, and you're like pushing yourself in the sauna, man, you could push yourself into a stroke. That's not a good idea. I don't think. I haven't really looked into the specific science of that, but like I can't imagine that being a good thing, at least for a prolonged period, maybe 5 minutes. But um, that defeats the purpose of the sauna. You want to get the full benefits of the sauna. You want to be in there for about 20 minutes. But like with what I like to do is I like to do a neck exercise, and sometimes I'll do also like like a vacuum pose. Um, if you know what that is, I'll like practice the vacuum pose a little bit in there because it's just like a breath hold just for a short period of time, and then I go back to normal breathing. Um, and Let me know in the comments if you'd like to see me do a video on how to do that, and also my neck exercise. My neck exercise is good too. It's basically just a resistance exercise. You don't need any equipment. You don't have to be doing anything extreme. It doesn't involve a lot of heavy breathing or a lot of cardiovascular exercise. So when you're in the sauna, it's an appropriate thing to do. You're just sitting there, and what you're going to do is you're going to resist all planes of motion with your arms. So you'll do this plane of motion by resisting from the back and doing this motion, and then you'll do the front, and then you'll be resisting this way. You just kind of have your thumbs kind of like that and on your forehead, and you'll resist going this way, and you want to focus on trying to tuck your chin in whenever you're doing this. Um, and that's the front and back planes, which will activate the muscles that strengthen the neck around the jaw and around the spine. And then what you want to do is do some side. So each side, you want to do the side like this. Um, Flex, give them a good flex. That's the left arm too. That's got a nice cut. But you know, you want to do the side, each side. And I only do like 10 reps, 9 reps. Um, and I do 3 sets each time I'm in the sauna. So that is a really good way to optimize your sauna time. This is the final thing I'm going to leave you with. And this is something that I've learned through a book that I read that is absolutely transforming my life as well as many others. And this exercise is going to be geared towards whatever your passion, whatever you're wanting to succeed at in life. Your biggest aspiration, your truest goal in life, whatever it is that you want to accomplish, wherever you want to succeed in, this is the way that you should proceed. This is how you um, ultimately get what you want out of life. And that is by pursuing goals with intention, without expectation, and allowing for things to come to you through daily action, as well as reducing the importance you put on them. Now, this is a protocol that I got out of a book called Reality Transurfing, and this is truly how you get what you want. This is truly how you manifest your dreams. And the way that this works is because in this book, the book's called Reality Transurfing. If you haven't heard of it, definitely look into this book. A lot of very successful people reference this book, and I I heard it so much. I'm super huge, obviously, if you can't tell, into the self-help space. I've read a lot of books, and this is the best book I've ever read on controlling your reality and having success in the areas of life that you want to have success in. Now, the way that this works is you basically proceed with intention of what you want in life. So have very clear focus on the goal that you want to achieve. You want to do this, however, without having an expectation on when it will happen, how it will happen, and even the way that it will manifest through your actions. Like, you might have to shift your actions, but as you act in the way that you know that you should, different things will come up, and you'll have these paradigm shifts and these revelations, rather, in your mind, where you'll see something and you'll know how to shift because you're taking that daily action, and then life presents to you many different options. Okay, so that's how this book, basically, to break this down in a huge summary, this is this is so revelational for me, and this is so revelational, I know, for so many other people. This is literally, this is so contradictory to a lot of the things that we hear too. So it's just like, a lot of times you think, oh well, I want to, I know that it takes hard work. It takes, and yes, it takes action, but I'm not saying that these things manifest only through the hardest work. Sometimes it's the easiest work. A lot of times it is. And so that's the beauty of this, is going without any expectations. You want to proceed in a way where you know what you want, and you're taking those daily actions, but your expectation isn't like that it has to be exactly the way you want it to be, because life will present to you so many different opportunities that, instead of going and thinking that you should be the creator, allow life to create. If you think about it, we're just one person, one energetic being amongst the energy of the entire universe. And if we allow the universe and God to create for us, then our blessings will be so much more vast and so much more plentiful. We can proceed in the way that we believe is the best to proceed, and we can believe that we want to accomplish this thing. And then life, God, will present the thing to you beyond your understanding, beyond your imagination, okay? So proceed with your goals, but reduce your expectation. And another word kind of similar to expectation is importance. Reduce the importance. You see, when we think about these things in a way that's like, I have to have this. Oh, it's so important that this happens for me. Oh, it's so important. And if it doesn't happen, I don't know what I'm going to do. Well, guess what happens? As soon as it doesn't happen the way you want, you're disappointed. Not only that, but you're putting off the energy that's negative. You're thinking it has to happen. That means it doesn't. It's not already happening. And it's not going to happen. You have to believe that no matter what, the right thing will happen in the right way that is aligned with your goals. And that God is in control. And that you're not in control. And you have to let go of control to gain control. You see, and you don't really gain control, but that's the way of putting it, is let go of control to gain control. Because what happens is, as soon as you let go of control, then things happen that you can choose from those blessings that God has given you. And then you can follow that path. And then it's like dominoes. Whenever you start to follow that path, God continues to bless you because you're following the path that the universe has already created for you. And so instead of trying to dig your own way through, you go straight to the diamonds. You're sitting there digging and digging and digging, and you got this one path and you think that you can do it. But the diamond was like 1 foot over to the right, you know? It's like being able to see through all of that and just see the diamonds. Whenever you quit just digging and quit focus on digging, you just you you dig with intention, and then you start to see. It's like you can see through and see the diamonds as they appear. It's like you can see where to dig. You can continue to see where to dig, and you know where to dig because you're not so focused literally on that one specific outcome. If you think that you want one specific outcome and it has to happen a certain way, then you cut off all other things, all other possibilities. And the thing is like you can realize the thing that you want in in different in different ways that you didn't understand before. So thinking that your logical brain can rationalize how to make a miracle happen is ridiculous. Like it's not the way. So just like reduce your expectation, your importance on the thing, and say, you know what? And this is the important thing, okay, that I didn't talk about yet, is ground yourself in the feeling of being blessed already. So I'm gonna finish up this video because I'm gonna go eat um, like 9 burger patties with no seasoning, and just I've been doing carnivore. Just smash a bunch of meat. I feel better than ever. I've been doing carnivore for 2 years. But anyways, and I have so much to talk about. I'm excited to do more videos and have more time to do this. But you know, just proceed with the things that you want to achieve in life, but don't sit there and go, I have to have this. I'm lack because I'm not this yet. I'm not at 1 million followers yet, so I'm not who I want to be. I'm not where I want to be. No, sit back and just say, man, where I'm at is amazing. Life is great. Everything's wonderful. if I get to 1 million subscribers, that's a cool goal to have. That would be nice. But like ultimately, it's okay if it doesn't happen. Sit and think about it being okay if what it is that you want to accomplish doesn't happen. And then it's more likely to happen because then you're not putting that energy out there saying it's not happening. You're just saying, I'm glad that I'm in the situation I'm in. I don't need anything else. And then whenever you put yourself in that state of not needing, think about like a relationship. Whenever somebody comes to you and they're like, "Oh, I need you to be my friend. I want you so bad," or like a girl, like whenever anytime you've like I know I've experienced this where I'm like, man, I really want this girl to like me. I really want this to go good. Then it's like I just repel her, and I'm like, well, why didn't you like? I'm the perfect guy. Like I've got the perfect things going on otherwise. But then it's like she's like, oh well, I don't, I just don't think we see eye to eye. We shouldn't see each other anymore. It's like, okay, what did I do? Well, you were just so attached to the idea of her instead of just being like, yeah, I don't care if we. I mean, I kind of like you. I maybe I like you a lot even, but like I don't like you so much that like I'm not okay without you. Like in fact, like if if it doesn't work out, then it just meant to be, and something else is meant to happen instead. So like having that mindset, not to get into relationship advice, but like whenever you have that mindset in a relationship, you'll see. I mean, like prove it to yourself. I've proven it to myself that whenever you have that dynamic of like, I don't care how this goes, I'm just, having a good time being me and loving life, then like people will want to be around you, regardless of whether it's a girl or a relationship. Like people will just be drawn into your energy and into your um, carefree way of being and like your lack of expectation on them. Like the second you start to put expectations, I know I've been in the other side of that on a relationship too, where you know somebody puts expectations on everything that they want for you in your life. Like they're like, I have, I expect you to be like this type of person, and I want you to be, you know like you're everything to me, and I just like I need you, but I also like have all this importance on you. Then it like makes you feel like you don't want to be in that situation anymore. And so this is the same when accomplishing your goals. It's the same when being in a relationship or trying to befriend people or trying to make connections. Like this is the same in all of those scenarios. In any area you want to have success in, is it's proceeding with intention and knowing what you want, however, being good with what you already have and being content with what you already have and allowing different possibilities to happen and different manifestations to happen that you can choose from different outcomes. And this is absolutely revolutionary. This will change everything in your life. It has for me. I'm just getting started with this, and like the level of blessings, the level of like contentment with my life that I have is, I mean, it's the best it's ever been. My life's the best it's ever been, and I hope you got a lot out of this. And I look forward to doing this again. And I'll see you in the next video.